Good morning, sweethearts. How y'all doing? Well, I know how some of you are doing. Again, you're seeing that. You're really seeing the polarity in these energies, sweet ones. Some of you are feeling very, very, very blissful. Others are feeling depressed and observing a lot of chaos and whatnot around you, chaotic energies, if you will. And that's normal. Remember, this total solar eclipse was a reset, a reboot. Good morning, Pamela. Big hugs and blessings, sweetheart. And you're going to find that this, excuse me, this fluctuation is going to continue. Good afternoon, Adela. How you doing, beautiful? Carla, big hugs and blessings. And so, again, I have to say, don't really judge these energies. And for Crystal Hicks made the comment that everybody around me is in hyper mode. Again, everything is showing you a reflection of yourself. And that will continue as these worlds separate and your new realities continue to manifest. Good morning, Loretta. Good morning, Carla. Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. And so you're going to find that, John made a comment on my post this morning that he doesn't feel the heaviness so much anymore, and like he did yesterday. And so you're going to find the more you can stay peaceful and in your heart space, as this collapsing continues to take place and replace itself with the manifestation of your new realities. Again, find the magic in it, sweet ones, and really I encourage you to take the time to really see the reflection of what is being presented for you. It's, again, I can't stress enough, it's never what the surface presents. And so maybe your spouse or your partner or your neighbors are, you're witnessing whatever chaotic energies is presenting itself, or you're being triggered by your spouses and stuff like that. You're going to find more and more relationships are going to fall away. Those marriages and partnerships that long-term or otherwise that you have been in, that was created in a 3D mind, constructed in a 3D lower energy vibrational frequency timeline, they're going to have to fall away. And that is why the individual relationships they're triggering you. Things are happening. Same with jobs, same with this. You're really going to find that what does not serve your new earth reality, if you will fall away if it is still in your presence. And so it's really, really helpful, sweethearts, to really see that in there. Adela says, feeling peaceful but a bit drained. Your bodies are being upgraded. Remember, your hearts were weighed against a feather. And in order for your new realities to physically anchor into the manifestation of this physical reality now, that which is not for your highest good has to be released. And so as you continue to anchor in these reset and these reboot energies of this total solar eclipse we just went through, you're going to find you're going collectively and individually, you're going to continue to find that up and down until it comes into full manifestation of your new realities, if that makes sense, if you will. Good morning, Teresa, Sharon, Michelle. Who did I miss here? Denise, Pamela. Big hugs and blessings, Shell. So really, again, sweet ones, really allow yourselves to observe what is being presented for you and really see the unseen in this. See the unseen energy patterns that are coming up. I had a friend message me earlier, and their partner, started exploding. And again, I get that it makes us, we get triggered and we have that emotion and we have that anger and we have that frustration. But by the same token, if you allow yourself to see beyond the surface, to see the unseen, you will see the energy that is being released to anchor in your new manifestations, your new realities. And love whatever arises, sweet ones. Really focus on that loving peace that this eclipse really brought in. And with the reboot, with the reset, good morning Cindy, good morning Rachel, big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. With this reboot and this reset, you have to take action. Look at it like this, sweethearts. You have been given a clean slate. You have been given a silver platter to build on, if you will. And that silver platter is going to remain empty. That clean slate is going to remain blank until you take action to anchor that manifestation of that new reality in. And so this is where you have been asked to surrender to spirit. This is where you have been asked to surrender and follow the guidance within, whatever that may be. And whether that is leave the relationship, leave that old job, leave that old house, leave that old location, whatever it may be. And literally, when spirit guides you, to jump. And that is how you're going to anchor in the new reality that has been made available to you, is by taking action. When spirit says jump, you jump, no questions asked. You have surrendered and you will follow that guidance, because at this space and time, as we go forward into these new realities, into anchoring these new realities in, if you cannot follow the guidance of your spirit, you're not going to be able to create that new reality, if you will, to manifest it, anchor it into what you have been given. And Cindy says the signal's not good. Do I need to go back inside? These energies are intense. So really, allow yourself, sweethearts, to really... Is that getting any better, Cindy? Now that I'm moving closer to inside. So really allow yourselves to surrender to your spirit, to really hear the guidance the spirit is giving you, because the second you follow that guidance, the synchronicities are going to fall into place for you. But you have to be willing to take the action. You have to be willing to do what spirit is guiding you to do. Whether that is leaving that relationship, that location, that job, whatever it may be. If spirit has been showing you, let's take your relationships. If spirit has been showing you, and over the course of, let's even just look at the past couple of weeks, if you will, past couple of months, if spirit has, on the physical aspect, if your marriage or whatever is getting more challenging, more difficult, and you're finding yourself with your partner or your spouse not getting along, and more arguments are coming, or petty stuff is coming up that normally wouldn't have bothered you or your spouse or whatever, that is showing you that is no longer for your highest good. If you are finding yourself in a job, or as Crystal says, everybody around me is in hyper mode, yes, that is showing Crystal something about herself to observe, the unseen. But it's also showing her, okay, where are you not listening to spirit? Spirit has guided you out of that energy. Where have you not heard it to get out of that energy? And that is really where observing is going to really come in and be beneficial to each of you. Because right now, spirit is leading you. And if you have not surrendered to spirit and its guidance, you're really going to, rather than manifest and anchor in that new reality that has been made available to you, if you will, you're going to continue to find yourself spiraling, because you have not followed that inner guidance that spirit has shown you. And so as you go forward in these energies, some of you are going to be like John said, yesterday it was really heavy feeling, today it's not so heavy. It's getting lighter. And others of you that are in a really blissful state, when you start, as you integrate those energies, you're going to start coming down now to anchor those energies into the earth grid, if you will. And you're going to slowly come out of that blissfulness, if you will, and come back down to earth, if you will, to anchor that in. And that is where you're really mastering your energy. You're really bringing in and saying, okay, I've anchored these, I've integrated these, now I need to anchor them, now which step to take. And that is where, when you come down, now it's helpful to understand these energies that are making you feel on top of the world, that are feeling magical, that are feeling blissful. Once you integrate these in, and even though it feels like you have fallen back into the abyss, you really haven't. Now is where you're really going to, if you observe yourselves, now you will discover that when you come back down, if you will, out of that blissfulness and that magical feeling that you've been riding on, that magic carpet ride, now is for you, because Spirit has revealed itself to you in these high, intense, blissful, magical energies. Now it's up to you to, once you've integrated them and you come back down, if you will, out of that blissfulness, is to follow that guidance that you were given in that blissfulness, in that magical space you were in. That's how you anchor it into the physical. And you will also notice when you come back down out of that blissfulness, if you will, that magic, you're still going to have what this eclipse has done, is going to, in the background, unseen, if you will, it will be much more graceful and gentle when you come out of that, come off of your magic carpet ride to anchor your carpet, if you will, onto the physical grid. Does that make sense? So, this is where, once you come off of your magic carpet ride, this is where you have to do, this is where you have to take action to anchor in the creations that you have been creating in here: peace, love, abundance, joy, harmony, whatever it may be. So, really observe what is being presented, sweet ones. Really follow that bliss that you have, the Spirit has guided you to, that you can have, and anchor it in and take the actions to do that. Regardless if you have the means, regardless if you know how you're going to accomplish it or whatever, make the decision to do it, and Spirit will meet you more than halfway. And that is really where your faith and trust comes in right now, regardless of what is being presented in the outside world, because we're going through a space of 40 days of chaos, of total release, collapse and release in as far as the outside physical world goes. And that's why it's really helpful not to concentrate on the outside world, to observe what it is presenting to you, so you can take the action, so you can do what you need to do to anchor that heaven on earth, that new reality that has been granted to you. Let me see what I missed here. Really, those of you who are feeling tired, really pamper yourselves, really communicate with your vessels. Adela, yes, I've noticed energy has been up and down, but staying peaceful with some chaos around me. I've noticed people getting angry, but just blessing it. And that's it, too. Really bless it. Gratitude is your best friend and lover, sweet ones. Seriously. And the more you can be grateful for what you're observing, the more you can be grateful for what is presenting itself to you, the more graceful this is going to be. And you're going to find what was chaotic and turbulence before the eclipse, humanity's hearts have been broken open. There has been a great amount, and it's going to stay around for up to 2 years, these eclipse energies of really bathing a heart-centered consciousness in all of humanity, whether they're awakened or not. And so even though you're witnessing the chaos and stuff just as you were before the eclipse, there's a more gracefulness to it as far as your reactions and your responses and how you deal with it. You're able to be more peaceful, to be that calm in the eye of the storm, if you will. And if you allow yourselves to observe, you're really going to see this. The outside physical chaos and turbulence is not going to trigger you in the sense of, it's so sad, it's this, it's that. It's going to, there is a more loving energy behind it. Yes, it still has to take place. It's a release, it's a purging. All of those energies have to be taken out, those lower frequency energies. And so, but as this goes forward, for those of you that have chosen to evolve, to have chosen to awaken, versus those who have chosen to be asleep, this is the separation of those worlds. So as those timelines sever from your physical reality, if you will, you're going to find that it's not going to affect you emotionally and mentally as much as it used to. It's going to be more loving, it's going to be more peaceful, it's going to be more graceful. You can observe this in your relationships where somebody that normally erupts in explosive anger, if you will, you're going to see maybe they still explode, but it's not going to be near as intense as it used to be when they exploded. For those, again, like your relationships, your jobs, whatever, if those are not for your highest good, you're going to find those become more explosive until you choose to walk out of that reality. And this is what it comes down to, your choices. In every given breath, your choices. Whether it's how you react, whether you choose to follow what you have been guided. If you do not follow that guidance that you have been guided, you will become more turbulent and chaotic, your reality, until you choose to follow Spirit. And surrender to Spirit and heed that guidance you are being given. And so you're going to see this fluctuation as this separation of world continues to move forward. And the more we move forward throughout these days, you're going to see more and more the outside physical world morphing. You're going to literally see the separation of those worlds more and more. But it's also helpful to understand and observe as you witness the separation of these worlds, and you're witnessing those lower timelines fall away and collapse on you. That's why I say if you allow yourselves to observe, you're going to find where before the eclipse, when these collapsing and separation of the timelines, they affected you more emotionally and mentally than they will now. And that's because that severing has taken place. And so your spirit is aware of what's going on. Physically, some of you are more aware of what's going on and the meaning behind it than others, but you will see you don't react to that falling away like you did before. There is much more peacefulness within you, and you're more allowing and accepting, if you will, and choosing, whether you're consciously aware of what you're choosing or not. Your spirit, you're being led by your cosmic heart now, sweet ones, whether you're consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly aware of that. And that cosmic heart is allowing you to observe and be more peaceful in this falling away, whereas before it was more harder, if you will, more challenging, more difficult for the human aspect to accept. Now it's going to be more, the human aspect is going to be able to accept emotionally and mentally and physically these changes and these separation of these worlds in a more peaceful, graceful, gentle manner. And you're going to find yourself, sweet ones, those who have chosen to evolve higher, those who have chosen to awaken, that, as Adela said, I'm noticing the energies up and down, but I'm staying peaceful. She's not reacting. She's witnessing. She's more in a space of observance and witnessing what's going around her, and she's just blessing it. And you're going to find that within yourself, sweet ones. You're going to find yourself that you're more willing to just be an observant rather than be a participant. And that is what these energies of this eclipse is doing. It is literally opening the consciousness of humanity into a more heart-based consciousness. And with that heart-based consciousness comes more of an observational space and mode for you each versus a reacting and participating mode. And that's the beauty of this. That really truly is the beauty of this. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Jax. Good morning, Emmy. Marlene. Big hugs and blessings. Where did I miss here? What's Jax saying here? Follow the guidance of Spirit. Spirit is wanting to show you the natural laws of the universe, which includes that you are taken care of. It requires surrender. Until you surrender, abundance will not be released unto you. It is the way of the higher realms and allows you to master your abilities as a co-creator. When you take that leap, I will show you how to fly. And that's what we're doing. We're showing you how to fly, sweet ones. Yes, you feel weary. Yes, you feel that some of you are feeling this heaviness, whether it was yesterday or you will be coming into feeling that heaviness, if you will. Again, it's all energy being released, being purged. Myself, I'm in a, I'm exhausted. I have spent so many hours assisting people and this and that, and I'm weary. Am I hopeless? Yeah. Hope is hope. Me, I don't deal with hope. I deal with faith. So that's me. But I'm weary, So I mean, I get what you guys are feeling. I'm still in a very peaceful, blissful state. But I mean, even myself, I feel that weariness, and it is what it is. Honor it and just release it. Be present with it. It is what it is. When you feel this chaos, Emmy says, yes, I feel the chaos. When you feel this chaos, bless it. Be grateful for the experience and release it. You no longer need it. And until you give your permission to release it, it's going to keep presenting itself to you until you give it permission and choose. That's not my reality anymore. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for the experience, but you're not needed anymore. And let it go. Jack's Pokemon Go has been turned off. Does heaven have your attention now? That Pokemon Go game was truly, that was released for humanity to see just how much they're programmed. Straight up. And only you can choose to let that go. That's why it was a big thing. People, they're so focused on this game that they're walking into rivers and killing themselves. They're walking into people's houses in the middle of the nights. They're doing this, they're doing that. That shows you the AI programming that you have been enslaved in. And that's what you guys are releasing and letting go. Is that old AI. Jax, does it have my attention now? Does heaven have my attention now? Oh, honey, Jax, heaven's always had my attention. What have you done for you lately? Tammy says, what have I done for me? I took a salt bath. I took a bubble bath. And I have coffee. That's what I've done for me. So, really allow yourself to anchor in and to take action and to do what your spirit is asking you to do, sweet ones. Because that's the space you've been given. That's the space we're in right now. And that is how you're going to anchor in heaven on earth. It's more than just being positive. It's more than just visualizing light around the earth. I mean, you have to do your part. And unless you take action and do, you're going to remain in the same space with a new reality hanging in the air. It's been given to you. Why isn't it manifesting for me? Well, what action have you taken to build it? What steps have you done to anchor it in? If Spirit showed you to do something, did you do it? And if you didn't, that's why it's not manifesting. Because until you follow the inner guidance the Spirit is giving you, and you actually take action on it, Spirit can't meet you halfway. Spirit's handed you a new beginning. you have to build it from there. So that's where the action in the doing comes in, sweet ones, is you have to be willing to take action on what Spirit has shown you to anchor it in. Morning, Laura, Lauren, Helena, Teresa. And so, really, if you're in a space of confusion and you don't know what to do, that is the best space you can be in. Because that's when you're willing to surrender to Spirit. Okay, Spirit, I'm no longer in control because I don't know what to do. I'm confused. And, when you hear Spirit and Spirit says, whatever Spirit says, just like that day I was out meditating at the river in Washington. Spirit says, you gotta go. Now? All right, tell me when to go. Go now. What do you mean now? I gotta go back to the house and get my stuff. No, you don't. You just need to go. Have faith and surrender. Okay? And that's what it is. You have to be willing, regardless of what this physical world says, you have to be willing to follow Spirit, regardless if it makes sense to your human aspect or not. And that's what you're being asked to do. If Spirit says, go do this, you have to be willing to go do that. Because once you take the step to go do that, when you go do that, then the next thing is going to be, the next step will be revealed to you in synchronicity. It will fall into place for you. And until you can surrender to that, you're going to struggle with confusion. You're going to struggle with, what direction do I go? What step do I go? I thought this is what Spirit wanted me to do. Well, you thought. That's the problem. You didn't hear. You thought. And you can only know from in here. Sharon, just surrender. I just asked that in my head. All right, what did I miss here? Oh, Teresa, I love you. I love you all. And I'm grateful for each of you, truly, truly. Where are we at now? Jack says, we are here to guide and teach. It is up to each person to do their part to build your new earth. We are not here to do your work for you. This is why Spirit is bringing each of you into surrender and totally disconnect from the AI game y'all have been playing for eons. And that's very true. So really allow yourselves to hear what your Spirit is guiding you and to take action. If your relationships are chaotic and they're becoming more turbulent and you can see this over the course of the past month, 2 months, even just a couple weeks. Again, I had a friend earlier, my spouse is doing this. Okay, yeah, I get that you're angry at the physical presentation of it. However, step back a minute. If you observe what's been going on, this started back here and it has just increasingly got more chaotic and turbulent. At what point are you going to surrender to Spirit and say, okay, I choose to leave that. I choose to leave it behind. You continuously show me that this is, that this is not for me, but yet, there's a child involved, or there's this involved, or there's that involved, and you're not allowing yourself to leave that relationship because there's a child involved, or there's this involved, or there's that involved. And so, therefore, you are not following your guidance of your Spirit, and so the relationship in and of itself is going to become more turbulent and chaotic until you're done. Until you are tired enough of that reality to walk away from it. And that is what Spirit is showing you. Whether that's in your relationships, whether that is in your jobs, whatever it may be. And, if you're in a job and it's getting more chaotic and you have felt for a month or 2 months, whatever it may be, that you were tired of that job, that you wanted a new job or whatever, and you haven't taken the steps to do that, well, that's on you, because Spirit is showing you through your feelings of this job is not enough. I don't care much for this job anymore, or, this isn't the passion of my heart, if you will, or yada, yada, yada. But Spirit is subtly is showing you that Debbie Edwards Hagen. Well, that's a fear, Debbie. And that's something you have to conquer. If you're staying in a place because you have a fear that I will be homeless, well, guess what? You are creating that fear to happen, to manifest. So, again, I can't stress anything you say after I am, I will, I have, yada, yada, yada. That is what you are creating. So, Debbie, I really encourage you to go within to manifest, then pay attention to what you speak. Pay attention to your emotions. Observe your fears. If Spirit has guided you to leave that whatever, and you are staying in it because you fear I will be homeless, then you are not helping yourself. And that is on you. And that's exactly what you guys need to, all of us are being presented with, those fears, to release them. And to pay attention to what you are creating and to master your energy. So if you're in fear that you will be homeless if you follow your spirit, then Debbie, you have just shown that you have absolutely no faith and trust in God. Simple as that. You're allowing the AI programming to keep you in a space of fear, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences for not following your spirit. And that's what it comes down to, sweet ones. You are the master of your destiny. Through your emotions, through your thoughts, through your deeds, through your actions, all of it. And that Debbie just showed you a perfect example of how that fear, how that AI programming will keep you trapped. And it also shows you just how little faith and trust you have in the Creator and you have in yourself. So, Debbie, I would really encourage you, beautiful, to really observe that and find out where you're not loving yourself. Because really that's what it comes down to. You do not trust yourself to be responsible and dependent upon yourself. And therefore you're going to continue to give your power away. And that's what it comes down to. Emmy says, yes, we need to overcome all the fears and surrendering. Hi, Shaquille. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. So, those are the fears that are coming up that are asking you to observe. Jax says, God is saying, do I not take care of the trees and the animals? Do I need your help? Then why have you convinced yourself that I need your help to take care of you? I couldn't say it any better, Jax. So, really, sweet ones, observe what is being presented. Observe the fears that are holding you back from surrendering and having that faith and trust this Spirit has you. And the second you surrender to Spirit and you take those steps, regardless of the fear of I will be homeless, clear, cancel, and delete that. Put me in secure mode, please, thank you. And so, that is what when you take that leap of faith and you surrender, Spirit's got you. You just have to know it. And you just have to know that if you follow the guidance from Spirit rather than your fears, you're setting yourself free, and heaven will manifest on earth for you as you anchor it in through your actions and through your doing and through your being. So really allow the magic of these energies to set you free, sweet ones. Surrender. And you will find the more you surrender, the more you follow that inner guidance rather than letting this outside world dictate to you and dictate your emotions, the more you're stepping into your mastery and taking control of your energy and taking control of you. And, that's what you want in order to manifest that heaven on earth, that new reality that has been made available to you. That is what you are being asked to do. So have a magical day, sweet ones. I'm here for you. If I don't answer right away, it could be that I'm taking a nap because I'm exhausted. I was up until 2 and was back up at 5 o'clock this morning. So have a magical, magical day. I love you. Big, big hugs and blessings. I'm holding you in grace, peace, love, beauty, magic, abundance, glory. We got this as long as you surrender, sweet ones. So surrender. Take that leap of faith. And know, Spirit's got you. In every way, shape, or form, Spirit's got you. I love you. Have a magical day, sweethearts. Bye-bye now.